Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the look that we're doing today, a very gray toned, grungy halo eye. Starting off, I'm going in with the shade Unplugged from the Morphe Cyber Chrome eyeshadow palette. And this is going to be my first shade that I will be using to start building up the halo eye. You want to make sure you're keeping the center of your eyelid bare of any product, because we want that to be kind of like the spotlight for the color that we're putting in the center. So with this shade is the lightest gray color in the palette, and I'm using that to start building up the shape on the inner and outer corner and blending upward toward the brow bone, just to give us that first transition shade. Next, I'm going in with the shade Giga Gray. It's this super cool toned gray, and what we're doing is we're going to start building dimension and depth to the eye, and I'm focusing on packing that color into the inner and outer corners of the eye, and then you want to go in and blend. For a halo eye, it's really about layering, building depth, and making sure you're blending and keeping the center of the lid bare for whatever color you want to put there. So here I am just blending out that shade into the previous one, and just really making sure to diffuse but keep the placement where it is. I don't want to go too close to the center of the lid, but just make sure that you're, taking your time and blending. You're really focusing on the placement here. Next, I'm taking the shade Private Cookies. It's just a cool tone brown, very deep. And again, going in, packing this color on the inner and outer corners of the eye, focusing on placement. And then once I'm satisfied with that, I just go in and start blending, and this is going to be a process. Like I mentioned, we're really focusing on building up and creating a shape to the eye. And this kind of look is perfect for people with hooded eyes because of the way that our crease folds. So just, focus on taking your time, blending, building up the color that you want, building up the intensity, and just taking your time and blending and curating this really more so to the shape of your eye. This kind of look can go for any kind of color palette, so just use your creative ability here. Next, I'm taking the shade Crossed Wires. It's a duochrome pink, purpley, blue shimmer color, and I'm taking that with the Morphe setting spray, taking that on a brush so it's a little bit damp, not wet, just you want it wet enough to pick up the color and kind of lay almost like a molten kind of metal, and I'm packing that onto the center of the lid, slightly tapping on the edges, but really focusing on placing this color in the dead center of my eye where we didn't put any shadow. And you'll see I'm tapping around the edges. That's what you want. Next, I'm going to take the color Flash Drive on my finger, keeping this just dry, and packing it onto the very center of that of my eye, just to kind of intensify the shimmer. Next, I'm just going to go back in with a small blending brush and just kind of clean up the edges a little bit, just make everything a little bit more seamless, and just double check my work. Now I'm taking the Morphe Make It Big eyeliner, and I'm just gonna create a winged liner. You can do this as big as you want, or as small as you're comfortable with. Just puts a liner. This helps with making sure whenever you put your lashes on, everything looks seamless. So just do an eyeliner. And I'm taking this and I'm doing an inner corner flick, And then I'm going back in with the shade Unplugged and running this on the lower lash line. What I should have done is I should have mirrored the Halo eye from the top of my eye, but it's fine, whatever. Next, I'm going in with this Essence eyeliner pencil, and I'm putting this in my waterline. And I'm also going to tightline, so whenever I put my mascara and my lashes, everything just looks very, strong, and there's no gaps anywhere. I really enjoy the look of, black eyeliner in my waterline. You don't have to use black. Depending on, the color story you're going for, you can use, a white, a tan, any color eyeliner works, but for this look, I'm using black. Next, I'm going in with the Lash Princess by Essence mascara. Just, applying this as normal on the top and lower lashes. I do multiple layers of this, so go in as many times as you want with your mascara. This is a safe space. And I love putting mascara on my lower lashes. I have really long lashes, so I love to accentuate them. So I definitely go in with the lower lash mascara. You don't have to if you're not comfortable with it. And then I got mascara in my hair, and it was a disaster cleaning up. Anyways, I'm moving forward with the AOA Studio lashes. These are in the style Natalia. Got these from Shop Miss A. And once you apply those, that is the completed how-to on this Halo Eye. I hope you enjoy. Here's some B-roll of me looking fabulous. It was a super pretty look to do. Like I said, you can do this with any color story of your choosing. It's really so about the placement of everything, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something from this video, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.